Welcome back to Usapang Bayan at kasama pa rin natin ang ating bisita na si Dr. Henry Lim Bon Liong, ang Executive Vice President ng FFCCCII. Dr. Henry, ang ating abilidad makatulong sa ating kapwa ay depende kung tayo ho ay kumikita ang ating negosyo na umuunlad, lumalaki. Di syempre kapag marami tayong pera, mas marami ang pwede natin itulong. Ano ho ba ang palagay nyo sa nangyayari sa sitwasyon natin ngayon? How is the businesses, particularly among your federation members, able to cope up with many factors na tumataas yung presyo ng mga bilihin, tumataas yung inflation rate, tumataas yung presyo ng mga fuel, and so on. Ano ho ba ang nangyayari sa federation? Ano ho ba ang sabi ng mga memberships nyo?
Actually, we have meetings every 2 weeks, executive director meeting, and then we have also our mass membership meeting. But then again, of course, what we discuss is really also a business, since it's a Federation Filipino Science Chamber business. So there are bills that are being passed, for example, in the House. There's Train 1, there's Train 2. Of course, we are deeply involved. As far as what is good for the majority of the Filipinos, we support it. Of course, right now, there are a lot of businessmen also talking about Endo. There are businessmen for, there are businessmen against, or whatever. Of course, we try to wait. And then one good thing is that the Federation right now, we have also our own law center, in which we also help try to present our views to the congressman, to the senators.
Parang may position paper kayo. Yes.
At least they can hear the side of the businessman. Of course, we know that there are also PCCI, Makati Business Club, but I think we are also one of the bigger
in the case of the FFCCII, total naman, nandito na kayo. Can you tell us a little bit about what your major positions are on some of these issues?
No, for example, there are federalism, di ba? That's the most important. In federalism, although even in the government itself, there have been some who says they are not for that because federalism will not really bring us to the next level, but there are also some. But here, as far as we are concerned, we are very resilient also as far as businessmen is concerned, di ba? Kahit anong klaseng type of government,
okay tayo.
Okay tayo. We've survived for so many years. We've survived martial law. We've survived through good times and bad times, through the financial crisis. But again, it's just there that we need to be forewarned, and we need to be prepared also for what's coming into what we are doing. Of course, there's a Trend 1, there's Trend 2. I think as far as the position of the Federation is concerned, we always support what the incumbent government is proposing. But then, of course, we voice out also, there are also some part of
some risks.
For example, opening up all the bank accounts, and they can check on your bank accounts, whatever, parang bank privacy law. In fact, I think the banks is not for that also. And we have also certain positions on that. But definitely, what come out, we will abide on it, and we felt that we are very resilient, and we will.
Was the Federation or the members of the Federation prepared for the results of Train 1?
No, Train 1 is already there.
Yeah, ibig sabihin, nakapaghanda ho ba ang ating mga membro para sa mga effects nung nag-devalue yung peso, nag-increase yung inflation rate, o hindi ho natin masyadong inaasahan yun? We didn't think it was going to go that way.
The increase in inflation rate, of course, causes also the increase in interest rate. And as far as if you increase interest, then people will at least be very, their passion for investment, medyo di ba? Makinto na kasi mataas ang interest, bakit mag-invest ako, di ba? Mag-invest ako, maglagay ko na sa bangko. Total naman, okay naman interest rate. So, those are the pros and cons. But as I said, resilient naman tayo. And there are so many line of business. We have 170 organizations, iba-ibang negosyo. Maybe this is not good for this.
But it benefits some other.
Yeah,
so, tabla-tabla lang. So I think I agree with Dr. Henry that also as President of the Federation of Philippine Industries, we are ready to support the government and we try to be resilient na kahit sino ho ang nasa administrasyon, we will try to work with them. Hindi para suportahan lang ho sila. Pero tama rin ho kayo na sinasabi nyo na sa parte naman natin, paaalalahanan lang natin sila. We will just remind them about, if you did this is what might happen. We might not be able to do as well, di ba? So, because if we don't do well, then the government doesn't do well also dahil kasi maliit ang tax collection.
Hindi, precisely, for example, I mean, what is very pressing problem right now is the price of rice, no?
Yeah.
Mahal ang bigas, di ba? Mahal ang bigas, but if you look at the other side of the coin, the farmers never had it so good, di ba? Maganda naman presyo ng palay, kaya mga lahat ng mga saka, they are happy, di ba? If you go to Region 3, in Region 2, nakita mo, lahat ng malls, kahit na simpleng araw, puno-puno sila. Kasi may pera sila. Instead of selling dati at 16 to 17 pesos, they are selling at 22, 23 pesos. Can you imagine? 5 pesos more. Kaya, there are always two sides of the coin, di ba?
Okay.
Although the urban poor, they have to sacrifice na di ba? Kasi mataas ang presyo.
Ano ho ang view nyo sa ating, because you mentioned endo kanina, nabanggit yung endo. Ano ho ba ang posisyon ng mga membro nyo tungkol sa contractualization? Are you in favor, not in favor, or you want a formula?
Even the majority, even with ACOP, I mean, you cannot go away
with contractualization.
Without endo. Also, kasi kailangan meron tayong talaga kasi there are certain line of business like mga di ba, mga kontratista, di ba, yung mga contractor.
Building, pagtayo ng building, patapos ng building, di wala na.
Wala na, di ba? And then for example, yung produkto ko, seasonal,
Agriculture.
Hindi, agriculture. Kahit na school supplies kami, di ba?
School supplies
we produce notebook, hindi ba? On 5 to 6 months, hindi ba? After that, hindi naman school season. Anong gagawin namin dyan, di ba? We cannot produce notebook, 12 months, at least rice, pwede pa rin. You can mill your rice 12 months of the day.
Kasi kumakain pa rin ng tao.
Kahit na rice, may harvest din, di ba? Only twice a year ang harvest yan.
Yeah.
So those are the things that there's really no perfect system for us to do endo or not. But as I said, we have to be resilient. We have to try to see, and I think that the government good intention is really to help the poor. We want to help the poor also. Let's try to find a common ways. Is there a certain that we at least benefit both sides? Hindi na pwede puro isa lang.
Yes, one side. Pero gusto ko rin tanungin sa inyo, ang opinion nyo ho ba ay yung ating minimum wage ay nakakatulong sa ating employment situation? Dahil kasi kagaya ngayon yan, ang private sector, ang mga ating may-ari at saka management ng mga negosyo, gusto nila ang salary increase parang tamang-tama lang sa inflation or something like that. But yet the labor wants 60, 80 pesos, things like that. Ano ba ang tingin nyo dyan? Will that be good for resolving our unemployment o makakadagdag sa unemployment?
George, if you ask me, everything is really supply and demand. You cannot dictate supply and demand. If the demand for labor malaki, everybody will pay more than the minimum, hindi ba?
Tama.
But if the supply is too much, why should I pay minimum? Marami mga gusto magtrabaho, kahit na hindi minimum, gusto tatanggap ng trabaho.
Hindi, at saka tama ho kayo dyan dahil kasi supply and demand dyan. Pero kagaya ng produkto nyo, meron kayong first class, second class, pero iba-iba yung presyo niyan. Pero yung minimum wage natin, it doesn't matter whether nakapagtapos ka ng college, hindi ka nakapagtapos ng grade school, parang pareho lang ho ang minimum wage. Agree ho ba kayo that maybe we can differentiate the minimum wage?
It all depends on the skills also. For
Precisely.
example, machine operator, di ba? 800 pesos isang araw, hindi ba? How can you equate a machine operator from somebody, parang he's just cleaning the floor or whatever? You cannot, hindi ba? Kaya yung mga tao natin siguro, they really have to learn a special skill so that they can demand a higher pay. And hopefully, I think the Department of Labor should know that although siyempre, they want to protect the laborers at least enough naman for the But again, the training is very important. That's why TESDA also play a very important role. The government through TESDA has to really
a critical role to play.
Yeah, they have to train them. For example, yung mga
Pang-welding.
certain skill, di ba? Welding, manicurista, di ba? Kahit na physical therapist, kahit na whatever. I mean, they can earn more than the minimum, di ba?
So if you're going to be asked, ano ho ba ang major challenges na fini-face ngayon ng ating businesses, yung mga businessmen?
At present, I think
At present,
it's really the inflation and the high interest, di ba? I think everybody's looking at that one. And hopefully, inflation will go down, interest will return back to its normal, and the peso dollar exchange rate will not breach 55 pesos. Pag breach 55 pesos na, medyo makaran away na tayo. But hopefully, I think Central Bank is going to train in. And we know that, of course, our reserves are very healthy, 7 to 8 months of importation. And we have also in ACE natin, in OFW natin, that is sending 30-35 billion US dollar a year. And then our BPO industry is still very robust. So I think ito, may 50 billion US dollar tayong kaagad yan. And of course, we are looking also for the tourism that's going up also. No? Hopefully, tourism can also bring in a lot of dollars for us.
Siguro, before we go for a break, let me just explain yung sinasabi ni Dr. Henry na pagka ho ang peso ay nagdi-devalue, ang ibig sabihin niyan ay tumataas ang ating bilihin because most of the products that we're we're a net importer ho kasi. Whether we're talking about raw materials or finished products, most of it is really imported. So, syempre pagka nagdi-devalue ang peso, you will now need more pesos to pay for that. Ngayon naman, ganun rin yung inflation rate. Pagka nakikita nyo pataas ang inflation rate, miski ho ang central bank grant natin para to train in inflation, increases the interest rate. I think the central bank has already increased their benchmark rate by 1.5% or something like that. No? So, pagka tinaasan naman ng central bank yung kanilang rate, yung mga negosyante natin na nangungutang ng pera sa mga bangko, syempre mas ipapasa rin ng bangko sa kanila yun. So, pataas ng pataas. So, pag mataas naman ang binabayaran ng interest ng mga negosyo para sa kanilang working capital, capital expenditure, ay ibig sabihin nun, ipapasa rin sa consumer yan. Kaya tumataas ang ating presyo. Tama ho ba yan?
Kasi it's a vicious cycle. It's not only that because when you increase the interest rate, companies will refrain from expanding also. But if the company will expand, then they will need more jobs. They will need more people to hire. But if the company is not expanding naman, stuck na naman yung natin. They may even lay off people. So it's a vicious cycle. Okay. And there's no, but this is not also rocket science. It's just how to balance both sides.
Okay. Well, we'll need to take another station break. Please stay tuned and we'll be right back talking about corporate social responsibility with Dr. Henry. Thank you.